Hi there, it's Jax here, and welcome to my information video giving you a general overview on the Benchmade Model 51 balisong, also known as the 51 morpho. Decided to do a little review and share some overall views on the knife, and hopefully some information, you come away with some information that might be handy to you or to those that love balisongs or might want to purchase this knife. Now, having said that, I only own one balisong, and that's this one here, the Morpho 51. So I can only really speak on this knife, you know, with a real lifetime experience of actually having held it and flipped it and whatnot. But so we'll get right into the review here. Now, the reason why you see the blade off to the left of the knife is that this is the original blade that came with the knife. It's not in original condition in that I've reprofiled the edge, did a little grinding on it, and generally changed a bit of the smoothness and goodness that actually came with the blade. In that it looked really pretty and satiny when I got it, and I might have you know, grinded the butterfly down and a little bit. I changed the general look of the blade a little bit, but this is actually reprofiled, so it has a sharper edge than what the blade came with, or at least a bigger bevel. So anyways, a word of thought on the original blade. The shape is what's called a spear point, and the reason why it's called a spear point is because both sides meet in the middle, almost like a dagger, and it's so it's symmetrically equal that way, rather than a Weehawk design. Now, it looks a little bit deceiving because Benchmade put a swedge in the top, and that kind of changes the spear point look. From in the shadows, you can see it's a true spear point, but in the light, that swedge kind of changes things a little bit. But the swedge is there probably to increase penetration of the blade, maybe just for overall looks and stuff. But so Benchmade calls this a crown modified spear point. So what we have here is a flat ground blade. I would call it a high flat grind. It's not a Scandi grind where the bevel only goes to the middle. It goes to the 3/4 mark of the blade here, and then what we have here is basically a flat little bit that remains. Maybe 1/4 of the overall width remains, and that's flat. So what we have here is a high flat ground blade. It's not a hollow ground blade. There's no radius or arc in it. It's flat grind. So yeah. So anyways, Benchmade also rounded the spine. Some knives continue their squaring profile up to the top. Here it's nice and rounded, which is a nice touch. And as it came from Benchmade, it was a very beautiful blade. Satiny, fit and finish was good for the most part, and it looked really good. So for you that are new to butterfly knives, you notice that this blade on the tang is absent of tang pins, which are the two little steel rods that are hammered in or somehow fixed in. Now, the reason for that is that Benchmade redesigned their knife, some of their butterfly knives, to come out to use what's called Zen pins. Now, rather than the tang pins being in the blade itself, these cutouts here and here and here and here meet up with where these two screws are inside the handlers is two pins. So now the stopper pins are located inside the handles, which does away with the tang pin design. So that's one thing you might notice there. This knife comes from Benchmade with bronze, I think it's called bronze phosphor washers. It doesn't have a ball bearing system or anything like that, so it comes, it has a washer design. Now, the reason why this blade, oh yeah, I need to mention this blade is 4.25 inches. It's pretty good sized blade. If I had to guess, it was about an inch or less, sorry, less than an inch wide, and it's made out of D2 tool steel. So this is a regular conventional steel. It's not a particle technology steel. It's a what do you call it? Ingot steel. So it's made conventionally. It's a good steel. D2's been around for a long time, and it's very respected amongst the knife community. It has excellent wear resistance. It's what's called a semi-stainless blade, meaning that it's not a complete, it can't be categorized as completely stainless, because the blade will discolor and stain with if it isn't taken care of and wiped down in certain situations, such as using it to cut lemons or acidy things, such as to be honest, like meats, vegetables, whatnot. But I've had this blade for a while, and it did a pretty good job resisting stains, as long as you you know, clean it off, soap and water, and wipe it down and dry it off. I think I've heard reports of D2 rusting, because it's not as it's what's called a semi-stainless, which means that it has less than 14% chromium in the chemical composition of the metal itself. So once again, good blade steel. It's comes from Benchmade hard. D2 is known for its good wear resistance and high hardness. For those of you that don't know, this blade comes in anywhere. Benchmade lists it at 60 to 62 HRC on the Rockwell scale, and I can verify from taking grinding stones to it that the metal feels very hard. So it's a good hard steel, and you can expect some good edge holding from it. So it's a beautiful blade for those classic folk out there that are really nostalgic for the Weehawk design. I can see your point, but I gotta say, this is a beautiful blade all in all, and Benchmade did a good job with fit and finish and overall design on it. So the reason why this blade is out of here is because I went and replaced the blade with a custom blade that I made myself out of a piece of Damasteel, Damascus. So Damasteel is like Crucible's CPM powdered particle technology metal. It's made by Damasteel. It's a Swedish company, I believe, and it's made unconventionally compared to, say, regular steels. It's made with the particle metal technology. So what we have here is the Morpho 51 sporting a Damascus blade. And now, what I did to create this blade, I better cover this really quick, or this video will get too long, is I took this blade out of my knife, laid this blade on the piece of Damasteel that I had left, traced and scribed the overall shape, and then I went about removing and matching the shape of the original. And then after that, the blade had to be had to have its bevel put on, and the finishing touches, and it had to be heat treated, quenched. I heat treated it in a forge and quenched it in vegetable oil, olive oil, I think, and then it went on to be tempered. The hardness is high, and this blade differs in a few ways than the original. It doesn't have a swedge. It is a low saber grind type of deal, and thickness is almost the same, stuff like that. So anyways, this is my custom made blade, and when I was finished making it, I had to etch it in acid, and acid brings out the relief. These designs that you see in the blade, probably not very well. You can feel them when you rub your finger over, because that's the way Damascus is. I wish I can... My camera doesn't have a focus on the go thing, so what I set it with, it's what I got for the rest of the video, but it's a really pretty design. and put a pretty good sharp edge on it, and it's quite a looker. So anyways, getting back to the knife itself, the rest of the construction on the original knife is black G10 for the handle scale material. Kind of on the more on the smooth side. It's not excessively grippy, or the texture isn't really grippy. It is skeletonized, and beneath those skeletonized G10 scales is jeweled blue titanium. So we have titanium liners. You know, you got 4 of those on the knife. And what separates this knife apart from the other Benchmade knives, such as the Classic 42 and the earlier models, is that this knife, of course, has the Zen pins, the pinless tang, and it also has a different latch at the back. So if you can see that cutout there at the very back, that's this is called the nitrous latch, and what it is that the 2 titanium liners are cut so that so that they create a spring, and when the latch rotates, it creates the spring tension. So anyways, what's neat about this is that the nitrous system is, to simplify it, is the liners being split to create the spring tension, and then the mechanism back here will operate it. So what's beautiful about that is when you lock the knife into open position and you squeeze the handles, the latch stays. It's not going to pop open. It's locked in there, and now you have your knife is ready for utility. And a balisong makes a good utility blade, for those that might want to know. It's nice and long, so you can use it for food preparation or cutting rope or whatever. But you know, I think in its original, I think it was originally made as a utilitarian knife, and it kind of you know, just gathered a following for the neat other things that it's able to do. Anyways, so the nitrous latch locks it in place there. So anyways, when I reverse this operation, because of the spring tension, and I close the knife, which fits into these nice little radius grooves. So anyways, so that when you squeeze the handle, now it's locked into place, but when you squeeze the handle, it automatically pops the latch on you, and it won't do it in the open position. So it's a good design. So that's a nitrous latch. And moving right along, we have a titanium pocket clip. Nice blue anodized, beautiful blue anodized pocket clip there. I don't know if it's reversible. I mean, it has the look like it can be reversible. I just don't know for sure. These back spacers or standoffs might be made out of stainless steel. I'm not too sure. And rounding out the knife is torque screw construction. So what we have here is T9s and T6s, I believe. The overall length is somewhere over 9 inches. Maybe closer to 10 than 9. So it's a long knife. The handles are like 5 inches long, and the blade is 4.25 inches. So it's a big knife. It carries well in the pocket. It's not too bad. As you can see, this isn't a deep pocket clip. If it was, the clip would be up here, allowing you to slide most of it into your pocket. And as it stands right now, when it fits into your pocket, a bit of the knife is exposed. So that's not a deep clip. A deep clip, there would be none of the knife, just it would look like this if it was a deep pocket carry clip. The way I got this knife, I mean, I didn't get the sheath with it. I don't know if it came with it or whatnot, but some might be available with sheaths. And I might make a part 2 in this video because I'm running up to 15 minutes. So for those of you that are interested and want to continue listening, I might stop it at 15 minutes and make a part 2 because I'm getting on there. So anyways, beautiful knife. It's light. It's only 3.3 ounces, and for those that are used to the 42 and other balisongs, they're used to a heavier knife. Okay guys, I'm going to 15 minutes. I'm going to take this up in part 2. Okay, thanks.